Hello! I'm back with a hopefully quite quick video. Just going to go over a few things that I've picked up recently. Thank you to any new subscribers. Much appreciated. You bloody idiots, why do you want to watch this? Okay, so this is basically new stuff. I think I'm going to tag on a few bits and pieces at the end that I've picked up that aren't new to me, obviously. Right, first of all, I went to Vinyl Tap in Huddersfield. I always like to go there. They've always got some great bargains on downstairs in their second-hand section. But they'd got a recent shipment, or they brought out a load of records that have been kicking around, obviously, for a while, or they'd got in. They're all £3 each. Most of them sealed, brand new stuff. So I think I'll start with that. Now, the first one relates to this. Now this is a 10-inch by The Wedding Present, and it's the John Peel Sessions, or the Ukrainian EP, or whatever you want to call it, the Ukrainian Sessions. This is released in 1989, and so this is The Wedding Present playing a kind of a folk rock version of Ukrainian tunes. So, knowing that, we have a record here by the Ukrainians, which were the spin-off that kind of happened from that Wedding Present record. So the Ukrainians, this is a short history of rock music in Ukrainian. And I picked this up, it was brand new, I picked up a couple of these actually. And it was only £3, so bought this. Yeah, so it's basically Peter Sawalska and Len Liggins, who were playing on that original one in '89. And they're still going. A great live band, really danceable, funky kind of, well, not funky, but sort of punky Ukrainian folk tunes. Now, one of the things they've always done is to add some a cover version on one of their records. They've done Venus in Furs on one of them. They've even started to do EPs. They did a Sex Pistols EP. And this is a full album of cover versions. It is a slightly kind of, I suppose, novelty record, listening to tracks like Back in the USSR, I Predict a Riot by, what they call the Kaiser Chiefs, another Leeds band, by the way. Good Vibrations, California Dreaming, it's got Venus in Furs, Psycho Killer, Children of the Revolution, Telstar and Kraftwerk's The Model, all done with a Ukrainian kind of folk rock, kind of punky aesthetic. Great stuff, really fun, £3, brilliant, you can't go wrong. Okay, what else did they have in their £3 bins? I found this. This is Stephen Merritt and it's Obscurities. Now, Stephen Merritt is an incredible songwriter. He's been in various groups. The Gothic Arches, I believe, was one. Probably most famous for being the lead guy behind the Magnetic Fields, who have released some cracking albums, not least their 69 Love Songs, which is an epic record. But this is a collection of, as it says, obscurities. There's Stephen Merritt on the back. And it's great stuff. We've got some alternate versions of things that are on the Magnetic Fields album. So we've got a different version of I Don't Believe in You, which is on 69 Love Songs. But, oh yeah, the sixths, as in between the fifths and the sevenths. The sixths. Got a bit of a lisp, can't say that. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, Stephen Merritt, can't go wrong. And for £3, I was very pleased to pick that up. Can't really see what's on the cover. It's like a close-up of some sort of sea anemone or something like that. A lot older, this record. This is Harry Sweet's Edison. It doesn't have a title. I think it's from recorded in 1973, but this was released in 1980, and this was a sealed copy. The reason I picked this up, I didn't know anything about him, but it had versions of the Black Orpheus tune, The Shadow of Your Smile, and I probably picked it up mainly for a version of 10-minute version of Ode to Billy Joe. It's hard bop. There's no information about who else is playing on it. It's on the America label. I think it's French. I think it is, yeah. And yeah, no information, which is bizarre for Jazz. Jazz are normally incredibly anal about telling you who the T-boy was at the sessions. But yeah, recorded live. Don't know who the band is. He's a trumpet player, as you can see. Yeah, hard bop, really nice. Now, that's the stuff I got from the Vinyl Tap. Moving on, I picked this up online. This is Curtis Eller and his American Circus. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't record under that name. And the album is called A Poison Melody. And this was a Kickstarter campaign to try and get this. So I put in for that and got a copy. Nothing really interesting on the inside. But Curtis Eller is the angriest banjo player in New York. There he is with his group, the American Circus. And they play a kind of vaudevillian Americana. Also, there's a song about Lenny Bruce on this. They've done songs about Buster Keaton. They've done songs about Richard Nixon, all kinds of things like that. They're deeply ingrained in the American kind of psyche of all kinds of Americana and the dark underbelly of what's going on. This is perhaps a more, I don't know, instrumentally, what's the heavy album? No, a lot of the stuff is basically just him and his banjo, but they've just got a saxophone player that adds to their sound. Great stuff. Really, check him out online, Curtis Eller. I'll perhaps put a little bit at the end, a needle drop. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. He's a lovely fella. I picked this up. This is Yola. This is Walk Through Fire. She is from Bristol. Apparently, from an early age, she was not allowed by her parents to listen to music, but she did anyway, and ended up doing some sort of background singing for Massive Attack and the Chemical Brothers, I believe. And this is her first solo album, and she's called Yola Carter, by the way. But she's, in fact, her first single, EP, was released under the name Yola Carter, but she's just dropped that, so she's the just Yola now. And I was a little bit disappointed in this, actually, because I listened to some stuff online, her playing live, and it was a really kind of rootsy country soul. I really liked it. And this is produced by Dan Auerbach of Dan Auerbach, yeah, of the Black Keys, and it's a little bit too produced. I mean, it's lovely in that it's got a very Bacharach sounding sort of instrumentation to it, which sometimes works really well, but sometimes you wish that there was a little bit of rawness in it, because that's what I saw when I watched the video. And yeah, so anyway, I understand she's kind of moving to big things, but Yola. So that's a nice sounding record. First side I think is better than the second side, but there's some great tunes on it. The faraway look is great, very Bacharach. Big fan of Calexico, so I was very pleased to get their new album, collaboration with Iron on Wine. What's the guy's name? Don't want to say David Berman. No, hang on, I'm getting all my people mixed up. It's not David Berman. He's from what's his name? Oh, gosh. Come on. Do I have to get my glasses out? Oh, where are they? Oh, there they are. Oh, God, I should have researched this. What's his name? Iron on Wine. I'm sure there's everybody there screaming at me. I'm going to have to look at the bloody record, aren't I? Doesn't even tell me there. What's his name? He doesn't play anything on it. Tracks one written... Sam Beam. David Berman's Silver Jews. Sam Beam from Iron on Wine. They've done a previous sort of mini album before. Sorry about that. So this is called Years to Burn. It's just come out. I've listened through it a couple of times. I know I'm going to like it, but I've got to sort of, get to know it a bit. It's a very kind of, Americana, countrified, very sort of soft Doesn't really rock, but it rolls. Okay, I was suddenly thinking, I picked up the latest Steve Earle record, and I was just looking at my collection and thinking, actually, some of his better records I don't have. So I went and bought this one, which is Train A Comin', which is from 91, I think, 95. 95. Yeah, 91 was the previous album before this, and in between that, he kind of had his breakdown with addiction and jail term, and he came back, and I think better than ever before. There are people who, certainly on the country rock and country area, who very much love his early Copperhead Road, Guitar Town, but I think he's just got better and better. And this is a kind of a fully acoustic album, backed with Peter Rowan and Norman Blake, and with lots of backgrounds from Emmylou Harris. If you haven't heard this record, seek it out. It's probably one of his best. And the other one that is probably a favourite of mine of his is The Mountain, he made with Del McCoury Band. This is a bluegrass record. There they are on the back. There's Del McCoury. And yeah, if you're interested at all in trying to find out a bit about or listen to bluegrass, I think this is an amazing place to start, because it manages to be a traditional bluegrass record, but it also has that grittiness and rockability kind of thing that Steve Earle brings to it, but still feeling like a bluegrass record. So if you're at all, it's a double record, nothing much on the inside. But yeah, I was really pleased to get that. It is one of my favourites of his, and it's just beautiful. Songs like The Mountain itself, Connemara Breakdown, Dixieland. So yeah, there's all kinds of bluegrass tunes on there. Great one, really like it. Okay, I was running through Amazon just to see if there's any bargains going on. I managed to pick up this for $5. This is Quincy Jones, Gems from the Mercury Years, 1959 to 1962. And of course, this starts off with Soul Bossa Nova, which we all know. You know that one. And it's got some great tunes on here as well. We've got a version of Caravan, Duke Ellington, Moon Glow. They Say It's Wonderful. Yeah, really nice. $5, couldn't go wrong. Early kind of, it's like it blends. It's that jazzy, slightly cheesy kind of easy listening kind of stuff. But back from then, the early '60s and the late '50s, excellent stuff. Really good. Okay, what else have I got? Oh, I did pick out a couple of little things that I didn't buy new, but these came into my hands. I'm not telling you how. This is Starry Eyed and Laughing. This is a British kind of folk rock group, country rock group. 1974 this was released, and they were heavily influenced by the Byrds, and you can hear that on this. It's a kind of, I think this is a lost kind of power pop classic, really worth checking out. I understand this is just their debut album. I need to check out some of their other stuff. I think they've at least got another album. I'm sure there's people that can tell me who's in the band and things like that, but yeah, really nice. And finally, I managed to pick up a copy of Greatest Hits by Phil Ochs, and this is a lovely record. It was his final studio album, and I like on the back it's got 50 Phil Ochs fans can't be wrong. It's a great album, but it's quite sad, full of regret, and as I said, it was the last record he ever recorded. He hung himself, I think 5 or 6 years later. But the last tune on this is called No More Songs, and it's kind of heartbreaking listening to that. There's a lot of regret and sadness on this, but it's upbeat. It's produced by Van Dyke Parks, and it's got, who we've got playing on it, we've got Clarence White, Chris Etheridge from the Flying Burrito Brothers, Ry Cooder, James Burton, Gene Parsons. Yeah, really nice stuff. It does gets a bit of a bad reputation, but I think it's a really strong album. Anyway, there you go. Well, I've done that quick. So until I see you again, bye bye.
So you quote, love unquote me. What stranger things have come to be. But let's agree to disagree. 'Cause I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You tell me I'm not cute. It's truth or false, it is moot. 'Cause honesty's not your strong suit. And I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You tell me of what once was, and all about Buck, Butch, and Buzz. Now they were not like me because, but I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Jak ja lubię kolory odziachu I słoneczne światło, що z волоссям грає. Я чую звук найніжних слів, на вітрі, що парфуму в повітря піднімає. Ловлю я любовні вібрації, вона дає мені реакції. Ловлю я любовні вібрації, вона дає мені реакції. Ловлю я любовні вібрації, вона дає мені реакції. Закрию очі, вона якось ближче зараз. Посміхається, буває доброта.
A radiation poison, well that's what you get. Moving in your bloodstream, you just don't feel it yet. Panic in New Mexico, don't you understand? A plutonium sickness, alright, oh, that's what I am. You won't stop the bleeding, you gotta meet me where I live. Down by the cooling towers, red hot, don't you know I'm radioactive? Truman left me with the keys.